What's up, everybody, and welcome to the HexxedPhenom Gamescast, the show that goes live every Saturday and brings you the video game news you need to know each and every week. Like I said, it goes live every Saturday on youtube.com/HexxedPhenom or on podcast services around the globe, places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, really any podcast service of your choosing. I'm one of your hosts, Joshua Wojcik, aka HexxedPhenom, and I am joined by the abstract rocker, JP. JP, how you doing today, man?
Oh man, doing pretty good. It was definitely a much needed day off, and it's kind of chill and all that stuff. Really just catching up. Got some Taco Bell. How's it going for you?
Well, JP, as you might know, today is Spider-Man Day. I'm going to see Spider-Man in like an hour and a half. I can't fucking wait. I got my Spider-Man G Fuel shaker in the mail. It came with a Spider-Man radioactive lemonade flavor. It's really fucking good. I got my Spider-Man shirt on. JP, I'm fucking ready for the movie. I'm fucking ready.
I fucking believe it. That's what's up, man. I see the no spoiler thing all around. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been avoiding social media like the plague because I don't want to get spoiled for this.
I've seen a few spoilers. I'm not even into any of that stuff, but they from what I saw, it seems pretty cool. Not going to spoil anything, obviously, because I don't even know the fucking purpose of what I read. But yes,
that is always an interesting thing, is seeing spoilers for something but not having any context to what it means. And it's just like,
yeah, like there was some stuff with the Green Goblin and all. Like I know that guy came back, but yeah, it seems like everyone's really loving his performance. And Toby's in this movie, right?
They haven't officially announced anything. It's been heavily rumored, but nothing's been officially announced.
Oh, okay. Yeah. People were talking about the Green Goblin and Toby. I don't know. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Sounds like a pretty good movie, I guess. But yeah, I think you guys will enjoy it. So what kind of news stories we got going on?
Well, there's not very many, and that's to be expected. It's December, the year's winding down. There's, devs aren't doing too much in terms of announcements, which I was talking to you about it earlier, but that means our next two episodes of the podcast, which should go live, I think next Saturday is Christmas Day, right? Or I don't remember. I was looking at the calendar, but okay, hang on, let me double check. Yeah, next Saturday is Christmas Day, so next week the podcast ideally will go live on Christmas Eve, on Friday, instead of Christmas Day. But we're going to do our favorite games of this past year, and then the next podcast after that is going to be our most anticipated games of 2022. So you guys can look forward to that. But JP, do you have any games that you've been playing recently that you want to talk about, or should we just jump in? Because we're kind of on a time constraint, but I mean, there's also not that much news. So
it's kind of really just been the same. I see Vanguard has their big Uber Duber Omega weekend, so I'll be playing more. I've been playing NASCAR. Really been cracking into a bunch of stuff, and kind of just thinking about things for the Christmas list because I got asked about last minute items. Other than that, I was thinking about going on Grand Theft Auto just to like collect some stuff. I don't, so I've been just kind of bouncing all around. Looking to get back into gaming now that it's Christmas is next week, and the hours won't be as off the wall between my two jobs. But yeah, definitely gonna be playing games a lot more soon. Just But that XP weekend intrigues me a lot.
Definitely.
How about you, brother?
In terms of things I haven't really talked about, I might have mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I was thinking about getting back into Fortnite because of all the new stuff they did with Chapter 3 or whatever. There's a new Spider-Man skin that's in their battle pass and all this stuff, Basically, I was going to say if a game has Spider-Man, you're basically guaranteed to get me to play it, but that's not 100% true because I still have yet to even think about touching the new Avengers Spider-Man DLC. But I did hop back into Fortnite. I've been having a lot of fun, surprisingly, because I don't really like Battle Royale games. But, I mean, I've been playing Fortnite. It's still Fortnite. It's exactly what you know Fortnite to be. There's not, anything super crazy. Like, there's not any crazy additions. It's Fortnite. And then, kind of like you were saying, GTA Online. I actually did a stream yesterday where I played GTA, the new GTA Online update, the contract. I played for like 5 hours.
Last night.
I mostly was frustrated the whole time. I'm not going to lie. I mean...
I was gonna say, I know your experience wasn't the best.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll explain it real quick, just for the people watching and listening. So, the GTA just makes everything more confusing than it needs to be. And so when I went on to go and
Yeah,
buy this new property for the agency to be able to do the agency
yep.
missions, I accidentally I accidentally bought the wrong property. So I spent $1.3 million on essentially nothing, like on a new office space in a different part of town. Which
Yeah, I know you're talking about your strategy for how it all starts, because yeah, usually John falls into the buying the highest one, and you get the lowest tier one, right?
I usually will buy the cheapest thing to buy into the new update because I've never really had a ton of money like with GTA Online. Like I don't usually grind super hardcore for, like heists or anything and build up money. So the most money I've ever had in GTA Online is recently since they've been giving out the $1 million every month for PlayStation Plus members. And so when I go to buy into an update, I buy the cheapest building possible because I'm not going to. The building's the same. It's just location is the only thing you're paying for.
Mhm.
So,
That's real estate for you.
but what I didn't realize is, and the office that I had previously was one of the free ones that you got with the Criminal Enterprise pack. But it was convenient as hell because it was literally right across the street from my apartment. So without realizing, I sold my old office, which was free, so I didn't get any money for it. And I bought a new one for like 1.3 million. And I went to it and I was like, why the fuck isn't Franklin here? And I was like, oh my god, I bought an office instead of an agency building. And so then I had spent 1.3 million, and then I'm like, well, fuck this. I'm gonna sell this and get my old office thing back because it's free. So I sold that one, got my old one back for free, and then I bought the new agency building, which was like 2.8 million. And I was like, so I basically spent like an extra 1.3 million on literally nothing. So I'd already been frustrated by that, and then just the whole thing of like, oh, you have to be in a public session to do it. You can't be in a private session. All the missions are out in the open world, so any other people in your lobby can come and fuck with you and blow your shit up. Like if you're trying to follow somebody, they could blow the person up, and then the mission's failed. Like all this other stuff, it just kept happening. I kept getting dive bombed by people in jets and people in oppressors and all this shit. It was horrible.
We got dive bombs. My friend was playing Warzone today, and for some reason people were just dive bombing. It was weird.
Yeah, people love to do that in Warzone.
Yeah, dive bombs are kamikazing, as it really should be known as. But yeah, that definitely sucks. It's gonna be interesting to see how the next gen stuff is. I know we're talking about like 50 per. I really think 50 people in like I don't know about a GTA Online session. Something tells me that's probably going to happen. Maybe.
I really hope not.
I could definitely see it for jobs and stuff. That would be cool to have 50 people of whatever the hell you're doing. Definitely not a mission because, contact missions could probably only have up to 6-8 people maybe. But yeah, should be quite interesting.
I like the idea of larger lobbies for like death matches and stuff, but an actual free roam session, God, 30 people is already chaotic enough.
Hey, at least you're tapping into that whole contract thing. I'm not even gonna bother till the next gen version comes out because I can't play GTA for long anymore because I have the base PS4 for anyone that's curious, but the game's just falling apart by frame rate and all this other crap. I just can't even really enjoy it like I once was able to. There's just too many technical problems with it right now, but yeah, once that comes out next gen, oh, you bet your ass I'll be on there doing races and wrecking lobbies. So I'm definitely stoked.
Yeah. I'm kind of torn on how I feel about GTA right now. Like there's so many things that piss me off about it that I don't even know, like I don't know. Like I feel almost duped by the contract because granted I don't know what happens after you finish the thing for Dr. Dre, but it seems like all I'm going to get for doing it is a $1 million payout, which means I'm still even not considering the 1.3 million of my own money that I spent being a dumbass. Even if you just consider the 2.8 that I spent to buy the access to the DLC, I'm still down 1.8 million. Mm-hmm. And the actual like other little contract missions you can do, they're really fucking annoying, stupidly difficult, and they only give you like 50k at most. Usually they're closer to like 35 to 40k. So it just seems like another thing of like, oh, buy into this, and then you'd have to spend tens of hours just to even break even on it, let alone it being an actually decent way to make money, which I don't think it is.
Yeah, it seems like that's how all the updates are. They just want you to spend money on shark cards, which
Oh,
I
100%.
know. I mean, it's kind of like people in the world, they'll just insert their opinion, say nobody cares about that. But oh, trust me, the statistics do not lie. And they make a fuck ton of money off of shark cards every
Yeah.
day, every month, every year. So that's actually the reason why we probably don't have Grand Theft Auto 6 right now, because GTA 5
Oh, 100%.
oh, I love GTA 5. It's just fuck, man. It's it's just crazy how much money that game generates. And then there's the RDR fans, but I hate to break it to you, RDR 2 was a fucking flop. So there's no way that game's getting the Grand Theft Auto treatment. They tried, but people just, I don't know. It's a whole nother world with Red Dead.
Funnily enough, YouTube must have heard me talking shit about GTA during my entire live stream, because my recommended feed last night was just filled with videos about what went wrong with Red Dead Redemption 2 online, and why is GTA Online so bad, and all these videos very similar to that, and I'm just like, huh. And I was watching a couple about Red Dead 2, and I was like, wow, they didn't even try with half of this shit. There's 4 different fucking currencies in that game, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's gold and there's normal cash, and I don't even. RDR2 is just a complete disaster. Besides the story, that's the only redeeming part of that game. By God, Arthur, I got a plan.
Well, by God, Arthur.
You always got a plan, Dutch.
But all right, let's move into some of these news stories. Right now, there is only 6, so shouldn't be too bad, and none of them are. No, there's 1 or 2 bigger ones, but. We'll start out with Fortnite, speaking of which. Fortnite's Winterfest goes live, adds Spider-Man No Way Home skins. So Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Zendaya's MJ come to Fortnite today. This is by Michael McWhorter over at Polygon.
Who isn't in Fortnite?
That's a good question, because that list is getting surprisingly smaller and smaller.
It's like Pop Funko figures. Who doesn't have one?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
Fortnite's holiday-themed event Winterfest is now live in Epic Games' Big Battle Royale. The limited time event, which runs from December 16th to January 6th, 2022, will give players a big batch of presents. It also welcomes Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man from Spider-Man No Way Home and Zendaya's MJ to the island, which means 2 versions of Zendaya in Fortnite in just under 2 months. I don't know what the other version of Zendaya is. I assume it has something to do with Dune, maybe. I don't really know. But
I think it might be Dune. I don't know. Fortnite's just becoming a parody of itself at this point, personally. At this point, you're just going to see celebrities.
I mean, they've already done quite a few celebrities. I think Ariana Grande's in there. Travis Scott is in there. I don't know who else, but yeah.
Fortnite. Port of Fort.
Fortnite players who have been on their best behavior this year will be treated to 14 days worth of presents. Sergeant Winter will be handing them out in the Winterfest Lodge, accessible through the Snowflake tab in the game's lobby, and players can expect the following: 2 outfits, 2 pickaxes, 2 wraps, 1 glider, 1 contrail, 1 emote, 1 lobby track, 1 loading screen, 1 emote, 1 spray, and 1 banner. 2 of these outfits revealed by Epic are Chrisabel, a festive take on the community-inspired Isabel, and Polar Peely, a frozen banana.
There we go.
But let's see. And while Spider-Man is already thwipping his way through Fortnite's flipped island, it's not the lovable Tom Holland version. Fortunately, Spider-Man No Way Home versions of Spidey, with Tom's face no less, and MJ are coming to the Fortnite item shop on Thursday, December 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern. That version comes complete with an unmasking emote, fitting now that everyone knows that Peter Parker is the old webhead in the MCU. But, yeah, so tonight, as of recording, Tom Holland's Spider-Man will be in there. So that's cool, I guess. I assume it's going to be a purchasable skin.
More than likely, it will be a purchasable skin. I don't know how much they are in that game. Hopefully not $20 at Call of Duty.
It usually depends on what the skin is, and it depends on how many they bundle together.
The MCU pack, by God.
If it is, I mean, I don't know. The article doesn't go into detail. They might do a whole bundle where it comes with the 2 No Way Home Spider-Man skins plus Zendaya plus the emotes and everything. If it's like that, it might be $20. But I don't know. They might separate them all, all 3 of them separate. I don't know. Sometimes they'll bundle everything together. Sometimes they'll do it all separately. So it really depends.
Just to make money.
But usually it will be something similar to Call of Duty, where it might come with like 1 or 2 character skins, and then all the the crazy shit that nobody really cares about, like an emote and a spray and a backpack and a weapon camo and like stuff like that. So we'll see what that actually ends up being. I don't really know as of right now. The next thing, speaking of being able to customize things, this is a horrible transition, by the way. PS5 faceplates, GP, now come in 5 new colors, not just white, with colorful new controllers to match.
Yeah, I saw the controllers. Definitely.
The controllers, I mean, I don't know if I would go as far as to get a matching faceplate for my thing. Well, we'll talk about it. This is by Michael McWhorter at Polygon. Sony will finally let PlayStation 5 owners have something other than a white console, officially. New console covers in multiple colors: Midnight Black, Cosmic Red, Nova Pink, Starlight Blue, and Galactic Purple will go on sale in January, letting PS5 owners customize the console in fun, long overdue ways. The color customization will cost $54.99, and Sony says PS5 owners can simply remove the original white covers and click the new ones into place. The company did not announce plans to sell the PS5 with these new colors out of the box, as it's an add-on for now. And while Sony already sells the DualSense controller in Midnight Black and Cosmic Red, it will release 3 new colorways for the PS5 controller to match the new console covers. Nova Pink, Starlight Blue, and Galactic Purple DualSense controllers will also go on sale in January. These DualSense controllers are available for pre-order for $75.99 or $74.99 each. It's kind of crazy to me that the controllers, well, actually, it is weird that the controller is more expensive than the faceplates, kind of, but yeah. Oh, and PS5 owners should keep in mind that the covers for the standard PS5 and the digital PS5 are different products, and you should shop accordingly. So pro tip, if you have a regular PS5, make sure you get the disc console cover if you're planning to shop for the new colors. And obviously if you have a digital edition PlayStation, get the digital edition faceplates. But JP, what do you think about this?
It's definitely not bad. At least there's customability to it.
Yeah.
Makes me think of when I get a solid state drive, I can pop those things out. Isn't that where like you can clean out the dirt? Isn't it around?
Yeah. There's like a little dust catcher type hole on both sides. So
yes, we could definitely, yeah, when that time comes, we can definitely pop them off, clean that bad boy. But yeah, it's definitely pretty cool to see that there's options, at least for the faceplates. I'd be more interested in custom faceplates, not just colors. Mainly because I can put my art on them and sell it and have a good blast, change up my console. But if for right now with the solid colors, it's not a bad idea that they have going on here. It's just I kind of wish they did more than just like 6 colors, but at least it's progress. So I guess it could be worse.
yeah, I think for me the thing is
I think there's one with an extra fan on it too. It's like a little.
That one is unofficial. That one's from D Brand, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's like an extra wind fan on. I'm like, oh, cool.
But yeah. So I don't think we'll ever see like official faceplates ever be able to be customized. You might see sites like D Brand pop up with like a slightly different design so they don't get sued, but that would sell custom faceplates like that. But when it comes to like from PlayStation proper, I like that we're finally getting them. But what I want to see personally is I want to see like when big new games come out, I want to see special edition faceplates for these consoles so that you don't have to feel obligated to go and buy a new $500 console. Like, so for me, I'm an idiot and I'm irresponsible with my money. So when they announced a Spider-Man PS4 Pro back in the day, I already had a PS4 Pro, but I was like, JP, this one's red and has a spider on it. And so I bought it. But so if they come out, let's say when Spider-Man 2 comes out, if instead of making a new $500 limited edition PlayStation, if they just sell, a black and white spider faceplate for $55, I would definitely drop money on that. So I really hope they do ones that are based around games is what I want to see next.
Not too bad. Yeah, I guess we'll see where it goes. At least they have options.
Yeah, options is always a good thing. I did pre-order the blue controller because I think it looks nice. But
nice. Not too bad. Not too bad.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't get the blue faceplates to match. I don't think so.
I think
All
a roll
right.
gold of that would be really, really cool to see. That'd
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
All right, JP. This one's just a funny one. I brought this up in the party chat the other day, but this is from David Grossman, I believe, at Polygon. I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong. Turns out Keanu Reeves never played Cyberpunk 2077. Despite what CD Projekt said, Johnny Silverhand is no gamer. A new interview with the Matrix Resurrection star Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss, conducted by Polygon's sister site The Verge, has been ricocheting around the internet for a variety of reasons. One is Reeves' laughing skepticism about NFTs and how easy it is to reproduce their image. Another reason is Reeves' chemistry with Moss as they discuss tech. He the wide-eyed visionary, she the unsure skeptic. But there's another moment that caught folks' attention. Reeves' brief admission that he never played the game in which he starred, Cyberpunk 2077, which launched a year ago. First spotted on Reddit by a now deleted account, the admission directly contradicts statement made by CD Projekt Red CEO Adam Kaczynski in late 2020. During the interview, which promotes Epic Games' playable Unreal Engine 5 demo, The Matrix Awakens, the conversation turns to other games in which the two have portrayed characters. There's a brief mention of Moss's time in the Mass Effect series, and Reeves mentioned that Warner Brothers is like, "Where's the ball? Oh, you mean the ball you dropped 15 years ago," in response to questions about the Matrix video game. There's a train outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But when asked if he plays video games himself, he offers a quick, direct, one-word answer: no. When asked in a follow-up, even Cyberpunk, he responds, "No, I've seen demonstrations, but I've never played." Now compare that with what Kaczynski told investors in CD Projekt Red's third quarter earnings call, translated by Seeking Alpha. A question from an unknown source emerges late in the call. Has Keanu played the game? Kaczynski says, yes, he played the game, but as far as I know, hasn't finished yet. But definitely he played the game and he loves it. Polygon has reached out to CD Projekt for comment.
He loves it.
JP, he loves it. He hasn't finished it, but he loves it. But yeah, the article doesn't really go into anything else. But well, what do you think? What do you think about that, GP?
I mean, I'm not surprised they're lying through their teeth.
I mean, that's what the whole Cyberpunk marketing bit was just them lying through their teeth the entire time. You know, right? Like,
you're right.
I mean, that's what it seems like.
It's basically it, you know.
And to be fair, let me clarify that has nothing to do with the developers. That was all marketing and like the publisher house. That had nothing to do with the developers. But
yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting. I mean, I don't really give a shit about Cyberpunk, honestly. I did have a good laugh about how it backfired because, you know, it basically became the Chinese democracy of gaming. It's been talked about, developed, marketed, thrown out the door. You know, so hopefully they can resurrect that dumpster fire they got going on. But yeah, I was gonna make a joke and they're like, "Oh, he hasn't played it yet." I'm like, he probably wouldn't have the hardware to play it anyway. So I hope they figure that out. But yeah, what's the news on their next gen version? Does it come out like next summer, or are they?
No, it's the Cyberpunk next gen version. They said in their, I think it was in their latest earnings call, or maybe it was just a separate announcement, but they said the next gen version of Cyberpunk 2077 will be available in the first quarter of 2022. So we should see it before the end of March.
Not bad.
And then I believe they said the end of quarter 2 for the Witcher 3 next gen update. So that should be before the end of June. Before the end of June. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. But I mean, as far as I can tell, like even after a year of them putting out patches, it's still not a fun game to play on base PS4 and Xbox One.
I thought I had issues with Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, I can't even play Cyberpunk on the base PS4 practically. Maybe right now, possibly.
Well, I just think that the whole thing about it, I just think it's like, no matter what, even if the game came out in a not buggy as fuck, like broken state, there's no way, like even if this game came out perfectly, it would have never lived up to the hype that was built up for it. And is that a little bit of people running with the hype train. That's also a lot of, lying and deception from the marketing of the game. But there was no way this game was going to live up to the hype that it had set for itself.
Yeah, no, there's no way. I mean, it's an easy comparison actually to Chinese democracy, because Chinese democracy was originally made to come out in 2000. So, the music scene was definitely different. And then it ended up coming out in 2008. And I still liked it, but it was really out of touch with how music was then. But, it didn't live up to the hype, but I still thought it was a great record. But yeah, that just comes in the Guns N' Roses debates. They'd be like, well, it's not like how it used to be with Appetite. But yeah, so that's just how I compare Cyberpunk. It really is like the Chinese democracy of video games. Hopefully it could just get its worth and maybe have a sequel. Maybe. I don't even know at this point. But yeah, should be quite interesting to see what they do with it.
Definitely. All right. So we got 2 more stories. We'll go with this one about Assassin's Creed, and then we'll head into what I believe is the one big news story of the week. So this one is Assassin's Creed Valhalla expansion sends Ivor into a war of flame and ice. A friendly face makes a return as well. This is by Anna Diaz over at Polygon. Ubisoft debuted a cinematic trailer on Monday for the upcoming expansion to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The expansion is called Dawn of Ragnarok and is described by the publisher as the, quote, most ambitious expansion in franchise history, end quote. The new story will follow Ivor on a quest to save their son. Dawn of Ragnarok will launch on March 10th, 2022, and will be available as a separate purchase for owners of Assassin's Creed Valhalla on all the platforms it's available on. The expansion will also be included with a Ubisoft Plus subscription, which I didn't even realize Ubisoft had a subscription service. A new cinematic trailer for Dawn of Ragnarok details the scenario. Ivor enters a world wrought by war between warriors of flame and ice. The trailer shows an ice-cold Ivor as they plunge their icy fist into another warrior, as well as what appears to be Ivor's son, chained up in a fiery prison. Unleash new divine powers as you embark on a desperate quest through a breathtaking world, Ubisoft says. Ubisoft also announced a set of, quote, free crossover stories as well, included one that features Cassandra, the main protagonist from 2018's Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Her appearance will bring new content to both Valhalla and Odyssey. From Ubisoft, quote, Cassandra's appearance is part of a crossover that actually spans both games. Assassin's Creed Odyssey players will get a free new story, quote, Those Who Are Treasured, in which Cassandra or Alexios, having found the immortality-granting staff of Hermes at the end of the game's story, travel to the island of Corfu as they wrestle with the question of what to do with their newfound longevity. In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, a fated encounter will bring Ivor to the Isle of Skye in Scotland, where they'll cross blades with Cassandra.
Nice.
The crossover stories will be available on Tuesday as part of a free update for both games, Ubisoft said in a news release. Just as a heads up, if players want the new content in Valhalla, they'll have to re-download an entirely new version of the game, although it'll take up less storage afterwards. A new title update for Valhalla will launch Tuesday and will bring game improvements, new difficulty settings, a Yule festival, and the crossover stories. It will run 39 to 77 gigabytes depending on the platform.
Wow.
And then just says that Ubisoft also announced that obviously Assassin's Creed Odyssey will be receiving a new update that adds the crossover stories. So definitely an interesting thing for the Assassin's Creed franchise to do.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. With Ubisoft, I'm like more in the clouds with the Splinter Cell thing, but Assassin's Creed news is pretty gooch as well. Feel bad for the people that can't go back and play those, but they could always watch it. That's the only thing I think they overthought was who still even has the game.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I will say. Like, it is cool for the people that still have Odyssey, but like, that's a big game, and like especially nowadays, like if someone doesn't have an upgraded hard drive, are they really gonna free up like 130 gigs or whatever to re-download Assassin's Creed Odyssey just to play these couple crossover missions and then delete it again?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't think most people will be able to do that or will want to do that.
Just sounds monotonous, honestly. So,
and personally, I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I liked it. I thought that I liked it a lot gameplay-wise, and most of the actual narrative was pretty good. I will say, though, that the game suffers a lot from artificial lengthening. which is obscene because the game is already like I didn't strictly main path the game. I was doing a lot of side stuff in between like main story missions, so I couldn't really nail down exactly how long the main campaign is, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 40 plus hours, like somewhere around there, just if you were just doing main story missions. Because what they do is, since they made it more of like an RPG now, you have to be like a certain power level to be able to even go and access certain missions. So there's a lot of times where even if you wanted to go and play the next main story mission, it's like, well, you have to, we're recommending you be level like 40 to get in this area, and you're only level 30. So you got to stop and grind for a while, my dude. So it does shit like that. And like, there's one point, no spoilers, but there's one point in the story where you're searching for a specific person and you get maybe like 5 different potential places that they were last seen. And so you're sailing the fucking 7 seas, GP, looking for this person. And I don't know if I'm just unlucky or if it's always this way, but for me, they showed up in the very last place that you look for them. So you spend a good like 10, 15 hours just sailing to all these different places looking for this person. And then they were at the very last place that I checked. So I wasted like 10 plus hours of doing all these other missions for all these other people.
That's just fucked. Wow. My God.
But
that's fucked up.
I don't know if Valhalla is the same way, but I certainly hope not. But I mean, the idea of crossing over the multiple assassins from multiple different games is a cool idea. And I know a lot of people really liked Cassandra from Odyssey. I really liked Cassandra from Odyssey as well. So I don't know. I mean, it seems interesting. It may even lead credence to that Assassin's Creed Infinity leak that has been going around, saying that apparently they might be trying to kind of cross over the different franchises and eventually build it into just one like continuous game that just keeps getting updated. So we'll see.
Sounds about right with the Infinity thing.
But JP, I'm going to take a sip of water, and then we'll talk about our final story, which is another Ubisoft story. Splinter Cell Remake announced by Ubisoft.
I'm really excited for this because I haven't. When the original Splinter Cell games came out, I really have a chance to get hands on that much with them. Like,
Yeah.
I had Splinter Cell, so I'm curious. It's just a complete. It's a remake. It's built from the ground up, I think, right? It's not like a sequel. At least I don't.
I don't know. I didn't actually read this article, so we'll see. So we'll see.
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out right now. This is by Dalton Cooper over at Game Rant. Fans have been asking for a new main series Splinter Cell game for years. The Splinter Cell franchise has been dormant for quite some time, but it seems that the wait for a new game is nearing its end. Ubisoft has officially announced the development of a Splinter Cell remake from Ubisoft Toronto, rebuilding Sam Fisher's original adventure using the Snowdrop engine that's being used to power games like Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora and the company's in-development Star Wars game. According to Ubisoft, the Splinter Cell remake will make sure that the game retains the identity of Sam Fisher's original adventure, but with some changes. There will be big graphical updates, quality of life improvements, and things of that nature, but the game will still be a linear stealth game. After all, new Ubisoft games nowadays are open world in some capacity, but the Splinter Cell remake will not be open world as previously rumored.
I'm not surprised because that environment's really weird.
Yeah,
I can see that working out for Splinter Cell.
Yeah. Ubisoft Toronto is hiring developers to work on the Splinter Cell remake, so the project is still in its earliest stages. Right now, the team consists of people who worked on previous Splinter Cell games, as well as newcomers. There's no word on if any of the actors will be returning to reprise their roles in the game, so it's unclear at this time if Michael Ironside will be back to provide the voice of Sam Fisher. Some fans may have hoped for a completely original Splinter Cell game instead of a remake. There is some obvious value in going back to the original game, however.
I'm just gonna stop you for a second. I kind of wish what they did was I wish they made a trilogy remake instead of just the original, because the story gets really interesting with Sam Fisher and the whole Splinter Cell thing. So yeah, I kind of hope after they do this that they make an original game, maybe a sequel to it. But yeah, I'm just stoked to play the original again. But yeah, I wish it was a trilogy. That would have been really crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I've never played any of the Splinter Cell games. I've always heard about them and about how they revolutionized the stealth genre. But
Yep.
like I said, I never got to play them. So, I mean, I'm excited to play this eventually, but I mean, like they're saying, it's in its very earliest stages of development. So who knows when we'll actually see it like come out. I'm thinking 3, 4, maybe more years. So we're going to be waiting a while. But yeah, I do kind of agree with you that it seems like they're probably purposefully only doing the first game because I think they're trying to actually gauge interest in it, because there's been a ton of people clamoring, Sam Fisher, like, where's Splinter Cell? Where's Splinter Cell? And they've also, well, to be fair, Ubisoft's also been being kind of a dick about it, because they will put Sam Fisher in every fucking game except a new Splinter Cell until now, finally. But
Far Cry New Dawn one was absolutely hilarious.
yeah, like he was in Far Cry and he was in this and he was in mobile games, and there's Sam Fisher skins in almost every Ubisoft game, and it's just like, come on.
Yeah, it's been like a tease, I'd say, for a solid like 6 fucking years. Like, I thought we would have already had this trilogy or something by now.
But yeah, I bet they're trying to be like, listen, fuckers, we're doing this, and if it doesn't sell well, we will never make another Splinter Cell game again. So you guys can fuck off if this doesn't sell well. So if you want a Splinter Cell to still exist, come out and buy this shit when it comes out. So hopefully they actually do right by it and actually do a good job with it.
Yeah, I hope they. Yeah, I think that's the ultimatum here, is if it makes money. But yeah, I think it'll be. I think it'll be great. I think I will definitely check it out whenever the hell it comes out. Because God, the original Splinter Cell games. Wow, you're talking midlife of the PS2. Like, we're talking like 2003. Like,
Yeah.
almost 20 fucking years since the original came out, unless it was 2002. But yeah, it's crazy.
I'm just looking up quick when they came out. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell is a series of stealth shooter games, the first of which was released in 2002. Let me see. Games. Okay, so Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, it's just giving me review scores. 2002, Pandora Tomorrow in 2004, Chaos Theory in 2005, Splinter Cell Essentials in 2006, Splinter Cell Double Agent in 2006, Conviction in 2010, and Blacklist in 2013. So 2013, it's been 8 years since we saw a new Splinter Cell game. So I'm going to go back to the article quick. It says, well, some fans may have hoped for a completely original Splinter Cell game instead of a remake. There's some obvious value in going back to the original game. I think I already read that part. The last release of the main series, or it's been 8 years since the last release of the main series. And so this way, developers can lay the foundation for potential future Splinter Cell games to build on. In fact, Ubisoft has said that the remake will allow it to build a solid base for the future, indicating that brand new games may very well be in the cards. So, I mean, exciting, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's far away. Like, there's not really much else to say. Like, I hope it's good. I hope the Splinter Cell fans get what they want out of it. And I hope that there's potential for more down the line.
It's a great series, though. It's just, it's ideally been so long that I honestly can't even give like a story of playing that game. I just can't even really remember much of that game. I just remember the stealth and the lock picking and somewhat of the basis, but at the same time not really, because it's been so goddamn long. But it was a fun game, I will say that. So seeing it come back will be really cool when the time comes.
But guys, that is the end of this week's episode of the HexxedPhenom Gamescast. Like I said, it's a little shorter. We're on a time constraint because actually my ride is coming for me right now. So, and I'm going to see Spider-Man. But like I said, this was like pretty much all the news there was this week anyways. And I respect your guys' time, so I don't want to sit here and stretch out 6 news stories for an hour and a half. So,
right.
But like I said, the next couple of weeks we'll do our games, our favorite games of 2021, and then our most anticipated games of 2022. I hope you guys have a safe and happy holidays, whichever ones you celebrate. And if you don't celebrate any, then I just hope you have a great time to
Good
end
time.
out the year.
Exactly.
But with that being said, guys, this has been the HexxedPhenom Gamescast, the show that brings you the video game news you need to know each and every week. And I don't know what to say, but I am so fucking excited to go see Spider-Man, guys.
Fuck yeah.
Phenom,